Can we make Mario sound like the old days but with modern synthesizers? Let's find out. If you want to get to the next level with me, consider subscribing if you already haven't and hit the bell button to get notified when I upload a new video. I was watching a video by the 8-bit guy where he explained how old school synthesizers work. And he explained how the NES worked, the 8-bit computer system from Nintendo. How awesome would it be to combine two hobbies of mine, retro video gaming and producing. The millennials probably don't know what I'm talking about. Super Mario Bros. Was the first video game that had Monsieur Moustage in the leading role. The Super Mario melody was probably the most heard music in the 80s in children's bedrooms. The NES sound is created with 5 voices, aka 5 synthesizers. The first two produce a pulse wave. The third a triangle wave. And the fourth one the noise. And the fifth one is for PCM sampled sounds, which are hardly used. The noise rhythm is a bit off from the original, but you get the idea. I'll stop it there before I get a slap on the wrist by YouTube for copyright infringement. What funny is that it sounds the same, and funny to see that the basics of synthesis still apply 30 years later. What I noticed is that the noise was used to do drum-like sounds and rhythm on the NES. And sorry 8-bit guy, I stole your screenshots because I can't do it any better. Let's recreate the sound. In theory, Serum has 4 oscillators which could handle all the music in one instance of Serum. Serum has 2 regular ones with any shapes and a sub-oscillator with basic shapes and a noise oscillator. When you do that, you have the problem that all the pitches are always the same, but each voice of the Mario theme have other notes and rhythm. So we have to make 5 tracks, one for every voice with each a separate instance of Serum. So let's make the first MIDI track with Serum. Choose the square wave from the basic waveforms in oscillator 1 and switch on monophonic mode. Duplicate that track for the other square wave voice. Then duplicate it again for the third voice, but this time choose the triangle wave. Then the fourth layer for the noise. Let's choose bright white, it is closest to the original of the NES. And last but not least, the PCM sample layer, just to match the original. Now I want to make my own. How cool would that be? Sound engineers back in the day would have killed for a Logic or an Ableton. I've tried to read into how they did it, but that is a whole topic on itself. I saw some forum threads about hex editors and assembly. Especially assembly is hardcore, raw computer programming on the lowest level possible. Nothing creative about that, and really complicated. But I saw some sequencers that could do frequencies, maybe even notes and milliseconds. Still not creative, but at least it's quicker than assembly, where you have to juggle with memory addresses. So much respect for the sound engineers back in the days. Back to the song. Let's analyze the structure of the plumber with the moustache to create somewhat the same sound. The song is written in C major. There is the very famous intro of 1 bar, then the first melody for 2 bars which repeats, then the second melody for 4 bars which repeats, and then the third melody for 3 bars. And if you count the intro of 1 bar, which makes it 4 again. After the third melody, the song repeats everything all over again. Nice to know, but I'm not going to replicate that exactly. The first bar would be funny though. Now let's try some improvisations by dragging notes around. The problem is with this method that you have the original melody in your head and you're unconsciously trying to recreate it. I'm not familiar with the music theory, so I did it by ear. What sounded Nessie. And this is the end result. Something that I noticed is that the pulse wave, especially when singled out, one noise, is very annoying. You have to play them together to at least can bear it. What about the Mega Drive sound, or Genesis in the US? What is the difference between the NES and the Mega Drive? Well, that is because of the Mega Drive used an extra sound chip that worked with FM synthesis, which is a bit more complicated than just a simple sine wave or triangle wave. With FM synthesis you modulate one oscillator with another, which can get complicated very fast. So that is outside of the scope of this video. And I don't expect that Marty McFly will step out of the DeLorean to take me back in time to 1985 to hook me up with Nintendo for some new fresh NES project. I know the NES had some extra effects like shortening the pulse width of the waves of the square wave, and for example vibrato, which you also easily can do in Serum with an envelope. But it was just a fun little project to see if it works, how it works, and just a fun little proof of concept. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you already haven't, and hit the bell button below to get notified for new videos. Thank you for watching, and bye!